Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome to the vlog. I hope the start of your day is amazing. I'm here with Reptar. These are Boise Island Leachianus. Now, leachy geckos are typically known as one of the coolest geckos, certainly probably the coolest geckos that we can get here in America that are readily available at least. And the fact is that some of these guys can be pretty expensive. The localities like Boise Islands and many other localities can really cost thousands and thousands of dollars a piece. And you know, the truth is that some of these insular islands stay a little bit smaller than the actual main island of Gran Torino. And the truth is, a lot of people think that because some of these can cost thousands of dollars, they're out of their reach when it comes to a pet. You know, oftentimes someone that has a crested gecko or a gargoyle gecko, which are both rhacodactylus, just like this guy here, they'll think like, oh my gosh, I could never afford a leachy. But the truth is that the locality-specific animals can get pretty pricey, but the ones that are generic are a little bit more affordable. And as you can see, Big Bertha here, which is a generic GT or Gran Torino locality animal, is quite a bit larger than Reptar, and she can even get larger than this. I mean, some of the localities like the Yetis can get giant, and that's what it's all about. It's just the fact that what do you want to do? Do you want to pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a very cool specific locality that's going to maybe have a certain color phase or maybe a size or something like that? Or do you really want to just get a generically cool leachy gecko, which is completely fine too? Again, we work with both. We work with some localities and then we work with some generic ones. The truth is the generics are kind of on the lines of, if you think about it, almost like a mutt dog or an integrate dog, right? If you want to get an AKC really rare dog, you're going to pay a lot of money for it. But if you want to get that dog that's maybe mixed with a Chihuahua or whatever the case may be, the fact is it becomes much cheaper, but it's still just as cool of a dog in a lot of ways, right? So the truth is that these guys are relatively affordable when you get into the kind of generic animals, which are typically usually localities of Gran Torino or GT mix, to be honest with you, and they can be really awesome. Again, under $1,000 typically, maybe $600 to $800, whereas the other ones, like I said, could cost sometimes up to like 10 grand, you know, which is a pretty big difference. And don't get me wrong, some of those localities are ridiculous and are well worth it if you're into that type of thing, and some people are really into it, and I don't blame them because they're really amazing. But I just want you guys to know that leachies aren't out of your price range if you want to just get one that's a generic here, like my girl Big Bertha. This is another great example of a Boise Island right here. It's got that really kind of pastel look to it. You know, the greens, a little bit of pink coming through. Absolutely amazing. And you know, again, certain animals, whether it comes to like gray-banded king snakes, green tree pythons, certainly leachy geckos, really localities mean everything. I mean, people are really into it. And to the untrained eye, someone might look at this and just say, oh, that's a really pretty leachy. Even I'm that way. I don't know how to discern the different localities of leachianus, to be totally honest with you. But the fact is that it's pretty important to some people, and there's no doubt that I think it's a good idea too, because you're able to keep bloodlines straight, right? That way, if we ever do need to reintroduce things into the wild, we just need to know where they come from and that they're not mutts for that reason. So I think it's a really good thing, and I think it's pretty awesome. But certainly it makes a lot of these out of the price range of a lot of people that they can afford. So again, if you want a leachy gecko and that's one of your dreams, you can go around and get it somehow, and you don't have to pay the big bucks just by getting a generic one. For example, this is a little generic GT animal that's about 6 months old, and look at that cute little face right there. I mean, this is amazing. And again, I think I paid about $650 for this one, just to give you an idea. Still, that's a lot of money. I get it, it's not 50 bucks, you know, but the fact is that $650, it looks pretty close to a Bosie to me, an untrained eye. The fact is that it can be a really amazing animals, and these guys are going to probably get pretty big because again, they are a generic GT, which is basically the main island of New Caledonia, right? And there's all kinds of localities on those, and these animals do breed specifically to those localities. But if you take one locality from GT and another one from GT and breed them together, you can't sell them as a locality, so they're called mutts basically, and they're just called generic GTs at that point. And to me, I absolutely love them. So we have a group of these and we have a group of some locality ones. I'll probably add some to both, to be totally honest with you. I'll get some more GT stuff that's generic, and then I'll certainly add some more stuff. Like I want to add Yetis for sure, because they're some of the biggest ones and there's some amazing looking animals there. Nevertheless, I love leachies, and they aren't that far out of your price range if you really want to get one. And just like the leachy geckos, like I mentioned, gray-banded kings are the exact same way. This is just a generic Blair's phase gray-banded king snakes, and these guys might be $100, $125, but there's specific localities that the people from West Texas are just really into. I mean, certain localities that are really rare that can go for thousands of dollars, and certainly are in high demand for those people that are really into locality-specific gray-banded king snakes. Again, to people like me me and you probably can't tell the difference between a Juneau Road or a 277 or a black gap animal, something like that. But the fact is that I just like the generic, beautiful Blairs and Alternaphases, and again, they're relatively inexpensive. Same thing goes for green tree pythons. Again, when you get into some of these localities, I mean, you can get really, really expensive, thousands and thousands of dollars, but a normal, just generic green tree python is relatively affordable. And I think, again, it's a good thing on both levels, right? For the people that really want to get into the locality-specific things, you have a really cool hobby there. But at the same time, the affordable way of actually owning some of these animals can still come through for more of the generic animals. Guys, don't forget that the Volume 1 coloring book of the Reptarium After Hours, what the animals are doing after hours, is out right now. It is $9.99 on the website, thereptarium.com. Link is in the description. Trust me, guys, this is a banger. I mean, I tell you, I absolutely love these things. 28 pages or something like that of really cool illustrations that you can color. Again, I think you're going to love this one for sure. Link in the description. So Jay's excited about something. He went running off, told me I can't move. Something for screaming, Dwayne, Dwayne, Dwayne. What is it?
Oh, Dwayne is the alligator. Dwayne the Croc.
I know Dwayne the Croc Rock Johnson. I know.
First off, I don't know if you know or not, but this is Dwayne.
Yeah, Dwayne the Croc Johnson.
And I actually, literally love him. So I do want to know whatever we have to do because I want to keep him for forever. I don't want him to go back to Gator later. So we can talk about that later. But I've been working with this guy because I'm a trainer.
Yes.
Dwayne. Stay calm. Calm. Play dead. Bang.
What?
Boom. That's a
there you have it.
There you have it.
Wait, what?
Do it again. Do it again.
That was real?
Yeah. Dwayne, ready? Play dead. You're alright.
Yo, what?
Holy moly. Look at Heinz, the crimson albino iguana, and how chunky that thing is getting. I mean, I tell you what, it's interesting. Iguanas, when they're small, grow kind of slow, but they hit a certain size right a little bit below him, and they just explode. I mean, we saw that with Tabasco and Sriracha as well. He is at that size where it's crazy, but look at how chunky he is. He's definitely been eating double time. And of course, French's is way up in the corner over there. She's not quite as chunky, but still doing really well. But I am so happy. And remember, he broke his tail off right here. You can't even tell that it's broke at all. It's completely grown back, and there's no real seam in it or anything. So I tell you, I couldn't be more happy with this guy. I mentioned it before, and I am super excited that Bella Bananas t-shirts are coming back. That's right, a little throwback. We're going to do a short run of these guys. It's been a long time since they were out, and it was our most popular drop. So I know a lot of you guys have said, where can I get a Bella Banana shirt? Well, guess what? You can get these guys now. This one's actually been washed about 50 times and still holding up pretty good, but they're going to be brand new designs. We're going to have them in hoodies. We're going to have them in shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that. So I'm going to put a link in the description. As of today, you can buy your Bella Bananas throwback shirts. And again, they're only going to be available for the next probably 3 weeks or so. So if you want to get one, jump on it now. So I hope that you guys are excited. More merch stuff's coming out pretty soon. But for now, we want to do one throwback to the most popular drop that we've ever done. Take a look at this crazy tangerine gecko that we have here. I was just kind of going through geckos. Got to be careful not to get obsessed with leopard geckos again, because I've been trying to downsize that colony. But as I'm looking through, holy moly, there are some beautiful animals like this one here. I mean, that thing sets your eyes on fire. And this is kind of the direction where I want our leopard gecko colony to go, to be honest with you. Just improving, making brighter animals, more cool animals, stuff like that. So a little less producing quantity and just really producing quality, if at all possible. But this one is an absolute ripper. So I had to tell you guys a funny story. Ivy is obviously going into shed again, and that's because she grows so much. Her growth is so big. She seems to go into shed every 4 to 6 weeks, something like that, which is awesome. But we were open last night at the Reptarium. A bunch of people didn't realize that these blue eyes and this crazy, of course she's just laying in the water and stuff like that. So a bunch of people came up and said, did you know that your anaconda wasn't alive? It's dead. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But what it was is that people didn't realize when snakes go into shed that they get those blue eyes, and it kind of almost looks like a preserved snake, right? So I was just like, what? But literally 5 people came up to me and said the same thing. So maybe I have to put a sign up that says she's in shed now or something like that. Nevertheless, she should shed out probably in the next 4 or 5 days, and that means she's going to grow even more. Loving this little monkey right here. This is, of course, just a little corn snake, but this is a snow tessera corn snake. Of course, the tessera is that pattern mutation that's incomplete dominant, and then you have the snow, which is albino and aneurystic. And it's a feisty little dude. Look at this guy. What are you going to do? Are you going to bite me? I tell you what, I love when little corn snakes have such big attitudes. But man, I tell you what, colubrids are coming out, and it's going to be so much fun to see babies again. Egg time coming, guys. You know you love that song. It's about on its way. Egg time. I've got to show you something. You know the guy that did the Reptarium mat? His name is Rick from floormats.com. He actually did the front mat. Guess what? He came last night, and he brought us a present. Stay here.
Tom, stay. What am I doing? I was wondering what the heck that was. So it's a good thing I didn't touch it. She would yell at me again.
I haven't seen this. I haven't looked at it. I've got to get some scissors.
I got a knife.
Got a knife. Perfect. Yep. I have no idea what this is, but he came by last night and surprised me. I hadn't met him. Really nice guy. And he said he brought us another gift.
Don't show that. It's like the worst knife safety ever.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Oh, it's upside down.
It looks like Legos.
Oh my God! This is dope.
Wow, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's all like, he said you could even put this outside.
Yeah.
If you wanted to. But this might work good up at the front door for now. What do you think? How awesome is that, huh? Thank you, Rick from floormats.com. This is absolutely incredible. Love it to death. So he said, again, we could put it outside, we could put it inside, we could do whatever. That's not going to look that bad right here, to be honest with you. I mean, we'd have to turn around, but what do you think?
Yeah,
it's dope,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
I love it. Well, that was a good surprise. Hope that you guys enjoyed that. And it's crazy to think that there's geckos that are worth thousands of dollars. But again, you can get one a little bit cheaper if you want a generic one. Wanted to show that off because they are absolutely amazing animals. If you enjoyed this video, here's a playlist. If you want to hit one or two of those videos for me, it would be amazing. And I cannot thank you enough. Up here is actually my podcast channel. You can hear me ramble for hours if you so choose. On this side, we are getting close to 3 million. Hit that subscription button. Turn your post notifications on while you're at it. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember, be kind to somebody, and I promise I'll see you tomorrow.